Welcome to First Post, sir.
Thank you for having me.
How are you doing?
Good, a bit tired, but feeling good.
The Nigerian delegation was the first to arrive for the G20 summit. How's your experience of New Delhi in particular and India in general been so far?
It's been wonderful. We received a warm welcome. I was the first foreign minister to arrive. My president was the first president to arrive, even though we arrived separately. So it's been wonderful.
You've liked it so far?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well, this year's G20 summit, there's a lot of buzz about Africa. We understand the African Union is going to be made a part of the group, and India has been pushing for it. Do you foresee any obstacles, or how optimistic are you about this happening?
Very optimistic. We welcome the idea, but we also feel that Nigeria should be included as well, being the most populous country in Africa and the largest economy. And you know, the theme is one world, one family, one future. We want that future to be democratic, and the family should be democratized and more inclusive. So 15% of Africans should be included. The same way that EU and other European countries are included, we feel that there's room for the AU and Nigeria at the same time.
And what sort of response has this proposal received so far?
Well, there's still talks going on. Quite a number of countries are not averse to that idea. I believe India is also one of them, because India has always been supportive of the global South and South-South cooperation and collaboration. We've been partners going back to you know, the non-aligned movement, the struggle to free Africa from racist colonial rule. So, you know, we're quite optimistic. We're happy that India saw it fit to invite us.
How do you see India's role here as the G20 chair? But in particular, the Prime Minister has been talking about the inclusion of Africa and the inclusion of African partners. How do you see that effort?
No, this is wonderful. It's welcome, and we're happy and lucky that India has the presidency, even though it's just for a year. But India is a very key member of the G20, and we believe with the support of countries like India and the forward outlook of Prime Minister Modi, we can get in there. And we need to be on the decision-making table of the largest economies in the world, where, you know, key decisions that affect the whole world and that affect Africa are there. We're just coming out of a pandemic. We saw what happened with you know, the whole politics surrounding vaccines, and how some countries were shortchanged, and what some are referring to even as vaccine apartheid. So this is why it's very key for Nigeria, which is expected to become the third largest country in the world with a population of 400 million, to be part of the G20.
You mentioned some very important issues, and you know, post the pandemic and then the war in Ukraine, we've seen this East-West divide sort of widen. And this is a very important platform where leaders like you and others who represent the global South can make their voice heard and raise the issues that really matter to the people. Having said that, there is a feeling that the war in Ukraine and the politics surrounding it may overshadow all the conversations over the next few days. Is that a fear that you share?
I don't share that, because, you know, countries like India, for instance, India is the largest country on the planet, you know. Nigeria is the largest country on the African continent. So even though we're not members, we're invitees, we're attending, and I think there's more to discuss than just Ukraine. Yes, it's important to discuss Ukraine. Yes, it's important, you know, to talk about how to stop conflicts. The whole field of international relations was founded on you know, the effort to try and stop wars, stop conflicts. But you know, there's a whole lot more to discuss beyond Ukraine.
Do you think the absence of some prominent names also impacts the kind of conversations that will happen? The United States, for instance, has called Beijing a spoiler. That's the word they used.
Yes, well, I mean, these are, like I said, the theme is one world, one family, one future. So even within families, you know, siblings quarrel, they fight. And I'm sure, some of these issues will be resolved, and this is perhaps one time that not all members of the family will be in attendance, but the next presidency moves to Brazil. Maybe by then some of these issues would have been resolved, or there's common ground to meet all together, and hopefully for Nigeria to be part of such future meetings.